Okay.
Loistava. Hey, so welcome to Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Right before we even get the game running, some of you might be wondering why I have max stats and everything. It's because we're playing on version 1.0, meaning if we put all our stats in, like so, we can just go back and select our clan again, and voila, we have more XP. And you can get infinite experience this way, and it's wonderful, and it makes the game great. So, yes, other than that, we're good to go. So, on this text box when we go, so 3, 2, 1, go.
So first we have a lot of dialogue skips, and that'll take a while. If Jazzy's the runner here, my name's Fight, and I'm here for moral support. I haven't played this game before, but this game's based on the White Wolf role-playing game series, Vampire the Masquerade, World of Darkness, and all that. Probably mid to late 80s, early 90s role-playing games. If you look in the top right screen, you see the FPS going absolutely nuts, and that is actually required to do weird things in this game. There's a hotkey as well to set the FPS back down to normal to do normal stuff.
Yes.
But first, we'll start off with some movement and loading screens.
So doors in particular in this game do not work on high FPS. So pretty much every single time I go through a door, you'll see me switch FPS. But yes, this game, it is from 2004. It runs on a modified Source engine. So all the goodness from Source games that you might be familiar with applies to this game. So there'll be bunny hopping, there'll be lots of other things. I'll make a quick save there just in case, because this is the most finicky part of the run for that exact reason. So we'll be making a lot of sequence breaks right off the bat here, if I can do it. There we go. So she's supposed to talk to us when we come in here, but we talk to that girl at the bar instead. Jump on top of her, and she should not run that way. So we're off to a great start. There we go, this should work. She's facing the right way now. Come on.
There we go.
And she should run, yes, straight to the elevator. And that's where we want her to go. And she can wait there for a couple of minutes. So yes, the cutscene at the start with the guy on his hands and knees crawling in towards the building is important to the story, but is not important to the speedrun. So you will not be seeing him at all. So we'll be skipping like a couple of minutes worth of quests, and instead going straight to the club and talking to Jeanette. And we had to do things in a very particular way when we first head into the club, because the elevator that I'm going to need later does not work anymore. So there will be lots more finicky things happening when we go back to the asylum in a little bit. So right now we're doing the iconic haunted house or haunted hotel quest, that we technically don't have yet. And there's like an invisible trigger there that wants to pull me through the ceiling or through the floor. But crouch jumping is a thing in Source games, and it is a thing in this game as well. So if you crouch while you're jumping, it gives you extra height. And that is exactly what I mean, by the way, with doors not working on high FPS. But yeah, so if you crouch while you jump, it gives you more height than you're supposed to have normally. We'll be using it in a big skip later on at the end of the run as well. So the blonde girl's sister that we haven't met yet wants us to come to this hotel and get a pendant from this ghost girl that was supposed to sort of exercise the hotel so that she can use it later. So that's what we're doing right now, just getting a pendant for her. Even though we've never met her yet, but hey, that doesn't matter. Yes, physics objects are your weakest enemy. Similar to Source runs, if you jump in slanted hallways like that, it gives you extra speed. Going up ladders in the diagonal gives you more speed.
So we're just going through this hotel now.
This hallway seems really scary because there's lots of steam, but it leaves you just enough health to get by just fine.
Yeah.
So it isn't actually scary at all. So there's the pendant. Now we just run out.
Door is slow.
Yes, it is. Make a quick save just in case.
So how much does that skip now that we just got through the hotel?
I'm not entirely sure in terms of time, but it is a couple of minutes. It skips like entire quest lining, skips talking to Mercurio altogether, which was the guy that in the cutscene that you saw briefly. Doors.
So bunny hopping and moving at a diagonal. So if you have motion sickness, you might not want to watch this game.
Yeah. There will be a lot of that. Where am I? Okay. So she's supposed to give us a quest to go slash these paintings in the museum, but the devs were really nice and just made it an option to just not take that quest. So that's what we just did. And it's also very important I open the inventory during that, because if I open and close my inventory, it lets me move during this cutscene. So I'm in between the elevator doors right now. And I'm going to send the elevator back up, because like I said before, the elevator technically doesn't work properly at all. So I'm going to have to do some shenanigans to make it work. So yeah, you can see the dialogue up in the top left corner. That's supposed to be playing. If I'm supposed to be upstairs right now, but I can't go upstairs, so we'll dance instead. Sick dance moves. And everybody else seems to enjoy it too.
So you can see that there's actually a third-person mode in addition to the first-person mode that we were been in since the start of the game. So
yeah, unfortunately, it's very, very slow. So okay, excuse me, lady.
And the reason why we don't look fantastic is because we're Nosferatu. So it's just a vampire mythology thing, and that they all look ugly and they have disguises to not look ugly.
Yes. So this is the blonde girl's sister, and she's very mad that I supposedly went to her museum and slashed all the paintings. She's in fact so angry that she just straight up pulls me through the floor to come talk to her, which is very convenient because once again I can't use the elevator. I can go down on the elevator, but I can't go back up. So again, I'm gonna need to get a very specific angle here. And drop a lockpick in front of the door. And hopefully that should leave the door open for me later when I come back in just a second. Sometimes this phone just works automatically, like at first try, but sometimes it doesn't, so I have to wait for a little bit.
Yeah, you have. It apparently you have to wait until you drop out of combat for some reason.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It just doesn't do it. Again, source engine.
Yes.
Interesting things.
Exactly. So moment of truth here. Yes, good. Lockpick is in front of the door, and we just sort of wedge ourselves back in, and the door's open. Voila, magically. Good stuff. So this is another iconic part of the game where you find out that sisters in fact just have multiple personality disorder. And you're supposed to decide which one you save. But we're going to save both of them because it's fast.
Is that an extra option from having max stats, or is that just a story thing?
Yeah, the blue line is if you have good enough persuasion, it gives you that extra line.
Yeah, so if you played this casually before, you might have missed that without getting a certain amount of stats in your playthrough.
Yeah.
But we do it because it's fast.
So the reason why saving both of them is fast is because of this teleport at the end. It teleports you back outside. Whereas if you only save one of them, you have to manually walk out.
And that's slow.
Yes. So this guy gives us the quest to go blow up a warehouse for him, which is exactly what we're going to do. This warehouse is owned by the Sabbat, who are technically, like, quote-unquote, the bad guys, I guess, kind of, in this game. It's a little ambiguous, but whatever. We're here. We're about to blow up a warehouse. And this skill right here is the reason why you pick Nosferatu to play as, because Obfuscate makes you invisible to everybody, and it's very useful, particularly right at the end of the game, but also right here. Excuse me. Okay. Uncrouch. Okay. It's a little finicky with inputs at times, but a door. So yeah. Normally it's supposed to come through like a backwards entrance and like through the attic and stuff and leave through a very, like, there's supposed to be a big chase scene here, but because nobody's seen me yet, I can just leave straight through the front door again. Again, saves a bunch of time. Oh, missed the hug on the bum there. Doesn't save any time.
And of course, because this is White Wolf and World of Darkness, there are werewolves.
Yes. This is the only one that you'll see, but hey, he's here.
It's another game where you can't pet the dog.
No, you cannot, unfortunately.
I'm not sure he would like it.
So now we're done with the first hub of the game, so we're moving on to downtown LA. We're quite literally making our way downtown, moving fast.
The only way that's fast, through the sewers.
Yes. Oh, okay. Getting stuck there for some reason. There's a really long cutscene here, but if you haven't seen it before, it's pretty nice. Some fourth wall breaking action for you.
So there's the werewolf we saw earlier, I guess.
No, he's not here at all. These are the Sabbat guys. These are angry that we just blew up their warehouse.
Yeah.
And trying to get their revenge on me.
The Sabbat are just generally in World of Darkness mythology that they just sort of think differently to most of the rest of the clans. So
yeah,
that's why they're generally thought of as bad guys. We'll see what happens in the sequel, which is probably coming out next year.
Start of next year should be it.
Yeah. So not too many more months for that. Stay tuned for SGU 2020.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be a really good speedrun, but only time will tell. So we'll see in about like a year's time at next SGU or so. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And then they'll probably break it again half a year after it releases.
Yes, probably. And spoilers, by the way, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's just going to end up shooting them.
For vampires that have a lot of other abilities, it seems guns is the weapon of choice.
Yes.
Sure seems to like you.
Why? Because it's easy.
Good effort.
Bam.
Execution needs a little work. You look like shit. Want me to? That's right. This is a mean existence. Stay out of trouble, kid.
So we're probably now looking for the next quest giver or whatever in this hub and going on.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, okay.
Whoa! He showed up
That doesn't actually technically matter at all, I don't think. But
Yeah. Yeah, the idea is that you're not allowed to show yourself as a vampire to normal people, and that's why it comes up as a masquerade violation.
yes.
That generally is thought of as a bad thing. And the Nosferatu are surprisingly bad at it, and that's why they have obfuscate as sort of their clan ability, hiding.
Yes. The Nosferatu are so ugly that whenever people see them, they freak out.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. So now we're on our way to see the prince, who is, like, quote-unquote, the head of all vampires in LA, at least.
Yeah. That's based again on the role-playing game. Is there's always a prince that's the highest tier vampire in the area.
Yes, there he is with his bodyguard.
So they tend to talk about them in generations, and this could be like a 6th generation down vampire or something, and we're probably like 13 or 14, really low down. So that just tells us how many vampires there were between Kane and us, or Kane and some other vampire.
Yep. So the prince wants us to go find the Ankara sarcophagus, which supposedly has some very, very powerful ancient vampires sleeping in it. That's what the prince and everyone else thinks anyway. And the prince wants to harness that power. So the sarcophagus is supposedly on the ship that we're just about to go find. And he would have some really funny things to say if I decided to murder everybody on board of the ship, but unfortunately that's not fast, so we're not going to see that dialogue.
So I guess we go on, we turn on obfuscate, and then just hide.
Not even obfuscate, we just straight up just
go for it.
yeah. They're going to shoot us a bunch, and it won't really matter.
Yeah, we have plenty of health right now.
Excuse me, officer. That was really loud. I apologize for that one. Pick up the ledger, the police report rather. And we have to go explore the crime scene.
That probably tells us where it is.
Yeah, so there's a crime scene. We explored it very thoroughly.
Ow. Ow. Ow.
Excuse me, officer. Don't mind me.
Again, it's very easy to avoid them when all they do is stand and shoot.
There's the manifest. And now we just walk back out. And this guy out here is still talking about some reporter that who thinks we are, but we don't have to care about him.
So would you recommend picking this up casually? I assume you've played through this casually at some point.
I would recommend picking it up, definitely. It's one of those sort of cult classics that was forgotten because the Troika games, the people that made it, went out of business very fast. But it is definitely a very good game. I recommend everybody play it.
So because of the sequel coming out, pick this up wherever good games are sold.
Yeah, it is on Steam. It is fairly cheap. It's on like $15, I think, and it does regularly go on sale as well. So get it if you can. Also, at the end of this little cutscene, I recommend you pay attention to the guy in the red coat. The physics in this game are great. So right about now. Whee!
Looks like the other coats did a thing at the end there too.
Kind of, yeah, but the red coat, man, is a lot more
Yeah.
obvious.
There's obviously a wind generator right there underneath the floor. You just don't see it.
Yes. Yes. When we hear from Grout?
So now we're going to go find Grout, who's the head of the Malkavians, which is a clan of vampire. Excuse me. Okay. There we go. Again, open the inventory and close it. We can move during this cutscene.
No. You should get out.
Do it again. Go in the door. That lamp isn't solid, by the way.
Obvious plot device. See what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. It's like hint, hint. Use these, maybe.
It's the wrong one.
Ooh. That's actually kind of RNG how fast that happens, so that was just the first key press that happened. So,
Yeah.
GG, I guess.
Save 2 seconds.
I'm just going to use Obfuscate here, because the way these mobs work is there's this one head guy that if they see you, they all sort of activate, and it's the same in this room as well. And if you don't Obfuscate here, there's a very good chance, because you have to pass through this room again, they'll all be like bunched up in front of that door. So it'll take you a really long time to get through.
Yeah, so rooms actually save their state when you leave them. So when you come back, then they'll be right where you left them, and that's not exactly where you want them.
Yeah.
Stairs. Why does it have to be stairs?
So we actually kill this person specifically to get that knife, and then that'll come up right at the end of the run. So it will let us kill somebody really fast.
So you can see here in the lower right corner, that's sort of the ability that we're using right now, and now it's on Potence, so which is basically the hitting skill, so you hit harder with it. Now we're set to Night Wisp Ravens, whatever that is.
It's basically like a stun.
Yeah.
It summons a bunch of ravens to, you know, flock the person and distract them.
So you can see there the effect loss was Potence. We lost 5 strength, so
Yep.
extra 5 strength is a lot. But again, we have very high stats.
I don't know who lives in this sort of mansion, by the way. Freaking nightmare to navigate, but apparently Grout likes it that way.
Yeah.
Here we're just lockpicking the fridge because there are some blood packs in here, and blood packs, obviously, they let us recharge our blood, which is the meter on the right. If we drop to really low blood, there's a chance that we frenzy and lose control of our character, which we do not want. And we'll be going pretty low on blood at some point later on. So that's Night Wisp Ravens. Basically just stuns that guy for a short while. Oh, that's guy. Okay. He was in a really awkward place, but whatever, we got through. That's fine.
Yep. So a whole lot of artifacts in the side of the room here, it seems, under the glass domes.
And there, suddenly, Grout's suspended wife just appears. At least I think it's his wife. I haven't played this game casually in a really long time.
And then another door opens.
Yeah. This is where we found out that, in fact, Grout is dead already.
He's been dead for a while.
Yes.
That's not good.
Which makes the prince make us go run a whole different errand for him.
Go find Person X. Well, Person X is dead. And there's some kind of vampire hunter here, I guess.
Yeah, here's Buck. He's a vampire hunter, and that's the last time you see him. Again, he's very, very important in casual playthroughs, but we won't be seeing him again, unfortunately. Or fortunately, depending on who you ask. Oh, damn it.
Oh, not good. That's not good.
Excuse me.
But at least the fire doesn't stay for long, so
Yeah.
we don't really have to worry about being on fire like in Tomb Raider. Just find the water.
And that's the end of Grout. Oops.
So back in the sewers, time to go back to the map and say hi to people.
Yeah. Say hi to the prince and tell him that your friend is dead.
Long live your friend.
The critic. Grouts. Fuck. Oh, look at me. Green, I need to finish the comic. The manifest. Here are the keys.
Here are the
There is a
keys.
degree of immediacy attached to things.
Prince's conversations are really nice because it's just spamming one for a really long time and then he says like a specific dialogue thing and then it changes what option it is. Oh, come on. The rat isn't there. Okay, whatever.
We'll have to fill up our blood some other way.
Yeah. It would have been a safety rat anyway, but would have been nice. So again, the Ankaran sarcophagus is supposed to be in here. This is the museum. So the prince wants us to go check up on it. The guard isn't there. That's also interesting. There's almost always a guard there, but
I think something tried to shoot at us just now. So passcode is always the same.
yeah.
No RNG there. Except for the door. Door NG.
Yeah, if you're good, you can make it through that door without having to reopen it, but I got stuck, so what you gonna do?
Bunch of laser things, we don't care.
So now you're gonna see the werewolf man again, very briefly. Not as a werewolf, unfortunately. And he says some cryptic stuff about the Ankaran sarcophagus. Okay, the rat is still not there.
So now it's just the prince without the bodyguard.
At least I still
Yeah.
Or is he in a corner somewhere?
they're not,
He's just off to the left a little bit.
they're not
Yeah.
He's just chilling.
fine.
So now he wants us to go find the head of the Nosferatu, who is just called Gary, who's somewhere in Hollywood. And normally, there's one. Give me that. So normally Hollywood just absolutely dunks on your FPS. But apparently these PCs that we're using are absolutely god tier, so I'm literally getting like twice the FPS I'm normally getting. Also, chair. Uh-huh. Good physics. So this is the Baron of Hollywood. He wants to introduce us, but I don't have time to be introduced. So we're just leaving. He'll still be talking by the time we get back. So the Baron, in order to help us, he wants me to find some tapes and get rid of this one person who's been terrorizing Hollywood. So we chuck this chair. Excuse me.
Good old CRT era computers.
Yeah.
Tells a bit about when this game was made. No flat screen. Looks
Oh.
best on a CRT.
The way it's meant to be played.
Yep.
So this guy's supposed to have the first tape, but he's very paranoid. So he stashed it somewhere. So we're gonna have to find where he stashed it. And that's our hint. He says we need to find Ginger Swan.
Get the fuck out of here.
And there's a pretty neat glitch actually coming up on our when we get back to the PC cafe. Okay. Oh, that was a cop, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yes, it was. Okay. It worked
Fine.
out. It worked out.
Whatever.
So this glitch right here is there's a way you can get permanently stuck indoors because of the FPS that you're using. And when you get permanently stuck in something, this game's method of getting you out is, damn it, is to just push you upwards. So there, come on. Get. So there's a locked door over there that we can't get through, but we really want to. So instead, what we're going to do is get permanently stuck in the door like that by jumping and moving backwards to the left. We're going to quick save and quick load a couple of times. And if you look at the third number from the bottom, the last one, it keeps going up. That's 102 right now. So that literally just pushed us through the ceiling so we can bypass the locked door.
And we get into this kind of home video studio.
Yeah. And there you can see the extra tape, the second part of the tape that we're supposed to get later, but because of that glitch, we're just getting it now. So that's tape part 2, even though we don't even have part 1 yet. Door.
Ouch.
And there's the first instance of these Geodude-looking guys. They are the massive pain in the ass, where if they hit you once when you're like and break your bunny chain, you pretty much can't recover from that, so you just have to murder them. So now after we read the database on the PC earlier, we know where Ginger Swan's tomb is. And that guy apparently just stashed it in Ginger Swan's like sort of mausoleum or whatever. We're just gonna go grab the tape from in there.
That actually won't spawn if you don't get the information off the PC.
No, it doesn't.
So even though we can get the second part of the tape by sequence breaking there, the first part is not available until we look at the PC. So if there was a way to sequence break the PC, then we could get this part without actually having to go back there.
Yeah, trust me, there's been a lot of attempted sequence breaks in Hollywood. That's like one of the biggest things in this game, where if somebody finds a sequence break to skip Hollywood, then you will tame the love of everybody in the vampire speedrunning community.
So how do you get in touch with the vampire speedrunning community?
We have a Discord, and you can find the link in the speedrun.com forums for this game.
Just go to speedrun.com, search for Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines, and then there's a link for Discord. Just go in there.
Yes.
And you'll get a lot of help if you want to start this game or learn more about this game.
Yeah, the people that run this game are very helpful, and they will come to your aid if you have any questions about running this game.
Now we're actually seeing a lot of rats on the way here.
Yeah.
All the rats that we missed before are now just hanging out here.
Pretty much. So
But we have to go all this way just to get to another sewer entrance.
Yeah. We're going back to Isaac to give him the tapes that he didn't have the chance to ask for yet, and he's still talking. There we go. Welcome to Hollywood. Yes, thank you.
Here, have some tapes.
Yes, here's the tape.
Now we get to watch VHSs.
Yes, exactly.
Hey, they had DVDs around this time. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least they're not Betamax.
So this first part of this tape is incomplete. And it is incomplete because it doesn't show us the front door of the house. Don't ask.
Yep.
But right now, Isaac is going to ask me to go find the second tape. But fortunately enough, we already have the second part of the tape. So we're... Yes, I'll go find it. Yes, hello. There you go. I found it.
Hand me the tape.
So now we get the longer version of the first tape, which is basically just, hey, here's the front door of the house.
So now we know where we're going because of the front door.
Yes.
Okay.
Again, Isaac apparently just knows every single house in Hollywood.
Yeah. Director's cut,
Yeah.
obviously.
Pretty much.
Nice artwork.
We get to watch this poor girl get mauled by these Geodudes again.
Instant replay. All these cutscenes are in engine, which is actually quite fun for this era of game. But that also adds the customization of the character. So
Yeah.
depending on what clan you choose and everything, then it all sort of reflects your choices at the beginning of the game rather than
Yeah.
having fixed cutscenes.
Well, if I make it when you're
So now we know what house we're going to and get to pursue the person that's been bugging Isaac the entire time and confront this whatever is behind those Geodudes.
I think that rat was floating in the air back there.
There's a very good chance it was, yes.
Again, broken
Yes.
engine.
Come on. This chair is absolutely awful. Okay. Nice, we made it through with the chair. Get some more blood from in there. There's specifically a blue blood pack in there, which is very good. It gives you more blood than just a regular pellet pack. No, I would very much so like if you did not come in here. Okay, thank you. So here's the guy.
Yeah.
This is the guy that's like stitched all the Geodudes together, and he's that guy for right now. Get an epic boss fight. We try and manipulate where he spawns by looking that way, and then spawn in a different way, but whatever. It's good enough. So with potency isn't that big of a deal. We'll just punch him a bunch of times. Use some burrowing battles in between to add some extra damage, but we also don't want to just run out of blood.
Yeah, you can see where it's getting very close to the bottom there.
Yeah.
But we should be fine.
And that was actually kind of a quick kill, because sometimes he just has a random chance of just like dipping down and coming back up again for one extra round for no reason, and he didn't do that time, so he got lucky there. And here we're gonna just feed on some rats again, refill our blood. That should be fine, considering I got the extra blood from King's Way. Okay. Excuse me, sir.
So we end up in somebody's cellar and we come out, back
Yeah.
out into the street.
There's another fun little glitch here, because normally this door is supposed to be closed and it'll lead you back through the big sewer system, but for whatever reason there's like a little line of pixels where you can just open it from the other side, and it'll be conveniently just teleport me into this cutscene to where I want to be. So here's this beautiful, beautiful man. We're gonna stun him, walk past, and open a gate. That ass. And continue to make our way through here. And right here, if I bunny hop while crouched, these little Geodudes won't actually notice me at all, because there's going to be a bunch right here as well on both sides. But if I'm just crouched, they won't notice me. I can lockpick this door in peace. Please close it.
And we close the door to make sure they don't follow us in.
Yes. Make a quick save there, just in case. Now you get to see this beauty. So there's supposed to be a little like mini boss here, but Source Engine would just jump through this hole.
I mean, the hole was highlighted. It
Yeah.
tells us to go there. Why not?
Yeah, very convenient. So this right here is pretty much the most demanding bunny hop section in the game. Mainly just because of all the geodudes along the way, because like I said earlier, if they just hit you once along the way, it'll just break your chain and completely ruin your day. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it goes all right. Oh boy, oh boy. I sort of surfed on some of them right there. I think I'm alright. That
be
guy is
okay.
also very far forward. Normally he's like around here somewhere. Alright, we good. We good.
There was somebody that with celerity, which was the
Here, here's
fast
an-
skill.
Yeah, that guy's a Nosferatu. We could help him, but we just get the passkey and leave. Because that's the kind of guy we are.
We're actually a gal, don't forget.
That's true, actually.
But we don't discriminate.
That was actually very nice.
That was clean.
Very well done.
That was very clean.
Oh, there's a little skip there that I can do. Jump straight up to the platform, but that's not a big deal. We'll just walk around. And now we're in the Nosferatu hideout, which is just in the sewers underneath the city. And
I
somehow
mean-
nobody's ever found them so far.
And we're Nosferatu, so we should have sort of known where this was.
Exactly, that too.
But story,
Yeah.
progression, things.
Although to be fair, I guess technically our sire, who's the person that made us a vampire in the beginning, he was killed right at the start of the game.
Ah, yeah, well, they had no chance to tell us, you know.
Yeah. So I guess that's
knock
fair.
on the door and say, open sesame.
Yeah.
Also, I like the Christmas lights here in the tunnel.
Yeah, the Nosferatu are very festive people. So yeah, we're just gonna find Gary and peace out. And Gary is gonna tell us about these Chinese vampires.
Is there anything else in these tunnels actually worth looking for?
Not really, no.
It just seems like a big place to get lost.
Pretty much.
I liked it. Are you sure? Careful what? Oh. What? Where? Oh, I know. The great evil. The goats of
That's the longest line of dialogue in the game. And it's really the only one that I have to check and make sure that I'm taking the right options for, because you could just go in an infinite loop with him if you're not careful.
Please tell me more about X. Please tell me more about X.
Yeah, pretty much. He has a lot to say about the Chinese vampires.
There's a lot of lore inside this game itself if you're not familiar with the World of Darkness setting, so
Yes.
it's semi-explanatory, but it does help if you have a bit of prior knowledge.
So we're just about done with Hollywood here. Just need to exit the graveyard. Which brings us to the last hub of the game, which is Chinatown. Which also has, I think, the biggest skip in the game. Because we're actually not going to do anything in Chinatown except go to the very end.
So what's the world record for this category?
The world record is, I think, like something just under 40 minutes.
That's fast.
It is very fast. I haven't been running this game for too long. But yeah, the people that run this game are very, very good at bunny hopping. And I think that's like the biggest time save they have over me. My PB is like around, like it's a low 49. Actually got it just yesterday before coming here. But yeah, this is the biggest skip in the game. So we're supposed to make our introduction to Ming Zhao, who's in that little hut, who's the head of the Chinese vampire scene. But instead, hey, this tree is not solid. It's only solid halfway up for some reason. Not really sure why, but hey, that's how they cut trees. Also, I don't know what that bounce was. Oh, come on. I'm making this look way harder than it is.
This is an easy skip. It's free, right?
It actually is. There we are.
There we are.
And there's an invisible wall here. So we crouch jump on top of the invisible wall and make our way around this place. So this entire area, because we're supposed to be talking to Ming Zhao, is considered an Elysium. And what that means in this game is I'm not allowed to use any vampire powers or weapons, so I'm just going to have to sort of hope that these guys, yes, nice, so that they don't block the door for me and I can just walk through without any issues. Because I cannot hit any of these people. Okay, good.
Then we hit another loading zone here, and
Yes.
everything's fine.
Yeah, so now we're in an area later in the game that we're supposed to be in. Now we're in like a combat zone again, and we got free reign. That's another door that you're not supposed to be able to open, but you can just open it from the other side for some reason, if you're precise. Right here, we have to save and load before that little tile there, because there's going to be some spikes that spawn in the wall. And if you don't save and load because the sequence breaks that you've done, you can't interact with them at all, so they're just permanently stuck in your way. This is the heaviest lockpick known to man, by the way. But that's where we say goodbyes to our lockpick. It's been very good to us. But that is where we part our ways. And this is the one instance where we need the knife. There we go. And then we quick kill him, maybe. And if you press backspace during that, then for some reason it just drops whatever weapon you're holding. Where am I going? This way. Oh.
So we can just pick up these items from a bit further away. You don't even have to go next to them.
Yeah. And this is pretty much the place where being Nosferatu just saves so much time and just makes the run a lot easier and safer. Because these guys, excuse me, are carrying fire crossbows, and fire crossbows apparently are vampires' like the biggest weakness. I don't really know why, but they are.
Well, it's fire and wooden bolts, so stakes.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess that makes some sense. Just wait for this guy.
Just have to make sure we don't run out of blood and run out of obfuscate at all. So that's all.
So now we just place the statues in a particular order. And this is going to be the last boss in the game right now. Turns out to be Ming Zhao.
This is the one we were supposed to meet earlier, but we didn't.
Yes. And this is also where she tells you that the person that you saw in front of Grout's mansion is actually her. And we also switched to the katana that we picked up earlier. And this is kind of an anticlimactic fight where we just sort of mash buttons. But yes, this is actually the final boss in the game.
So again, we have potence active to do more damage with the katana.
I can't actually hear what you're saying right now because the game is incredibly loud.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the final boss. We pick up the relic, the key that opens the sarcophagus. There's a little dialogue still. We're totally inside the taxi, by the way. And now we just go back up to the prince, and that's time.
Good. 48:55.
That's a PB, actually, which
That's
is...
a PB. That's pretty
yeah.
good. By how much? 30 seconds?
Around 30 seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
Which actually, that makes the first actual legit PB that I've had, because in all my other runs I've had to save and load because I'm getting stuck with doors or whatever.
Yeah.
So yay, that's actually my first submittable PB ever, so yay.
Pretty good.
That's really funny.
Now we get a cutscene with all the ending story and
Yes, yes. So this is the uncovering sarcophagus that Prince is holding, like caressing right here. This is what we've been looking for the entire time.
I assume that thing is the key that...
Yes, that's what we just picked up after killing Ming Zhao. And we're gonna open it with Prince and unleash all sorts of powers upon the world. Except, psych, it's just C4.
Whoops. The end.
So yeah, technically that is like quote-unquote the bad ending of the game, but it is fastest. There's multiple endings to this game. So once again, if you feel like playing this game casually, I highly, highly recommend it. There's a lot of stuff to do, and there's a lot of different paths you can take, different clans you can play, and all this sort of stuff. It's a very good game. I highly recommend it. And again, if you're into speedrunning, it's a Source game, and in my mind, the Source games always make fantastic speedruns. I recommend that too. And yeah, thank you for joining me on commentary for this one.
All right. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Yeah. Next up is GTA, I think, so enjoy that one.
Definitely.